New York Islanders 3, Edmonton Oilers 0. Welcome back to the day after reaction with myself, Waz, and Mr. Dan. How we doing?
I'm doing okay, Waz, and yourself?
Oh, that was it was a tough Oilers loss to swallow once again this season. I think Ilya Sorokin had a 50 save shutout. You don't see those often, and thankfully the Oilers did outshoot them, but that doesn't matter in the end, does it?
50 shots in less than 48 minutes, Waz.
That's
If you
incredible.
remember, we came out of the gates and didn't decide to shoot a shot at the guy for the first 12 minutes or so. So, yeah, I mean, it's you look at that
Strange.
shot clock and you think, oh, that's actually not that bad of a game, but it really is.
Yeah. So let's get to the straight takeaways here. What was your first takeaway from that game?
Well, my first takeaway is you gotta stop playing from behind. This
Mm-hmm.
team, I feel like a parent talking to my stepkids saying you gotta figure out how to start a game off right. But that's just where it's at. You see this team not be able to start any kind of offensive flow whatsoever to get the game going. And then, you know, as soon as the goal goes in, that shorthanded goal going in, it was as if the floodgates just broke for this
Mm-hmm.
team. Take a penalty right afterwards, and it's just nonsense. So 50 shots in 48 minutes is something to be proud of, but the fact that they had to do it again and they were trying to get themselves back into another game is becoming exhausting at the 20 game mark of the season.
Yeah, you mentioned the 20 game mark, and also it's American Thanksgiving, and for many say that this is the point of the season where you get to really see how your roster will shape up for the rest of the year. And so far, this always seems very inconsistent, and it's not a good sign. What would your second takeaway be?
My second takeaway is the special teams and team defense in general has to be better.
Mm,
When you're on the power play in a 0-0 game and you are caught by JG Pajot for a shorthanded goal, you can't let that dismantle you. And it seems like this team does that. And they get off of their game and then they go and they take a penalty right after that. And then the Islanders make it 2-0. So yeah, for me, this team has a lot of things that are just fundamentals that they need to work on, and special teams is one of them for sure.
and for a team that's considered to be a Stanley Cup contender, you don't want to hear that. Oh, you have to work on the fundamentals, and that's what's happening right now. The team needs to work on the basics, and we don't want to be saying that in game 20, but it's better to say this now than game 50, right? So,
Yep.
uh, what would your third takeaway be?
Jack Campbell was every bit the goaltender we'd have asked him to be on Oilers Nation Radio on Tuesday
Mm-hmm.
afternoon. With myself and Tyler were talking about how we felt like he just needed to allow 3 goals or less against the New York Islanders, and we'd be just fine. And he did that, and this team could not score the goals to keep up with him.
Yes.
So too bad. It's frustrating to have a really solid effort from Jack Campbell, an effort where he was making some really 10 bell saves to keep this team in it. And then the goals that did go past him, I don't really fault him too deeply on them. The shorthanded goal being a nice cross crease pass. The power play goal is what it is. And yeah, so I mean, Jack Campbell was every bit the goalie you would ask of him after a long layoff like he's had and a broken nose in between. And unfortunately, the team wasn't able to give him any run support.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And it's interesting because even last year, I remember it felt like Mikko Koskinen would have a great game. The team in front of him would just let him down. He would make huge saves. And it looks like we're kind of starting to see the same with Jack Campbell, unfortunately.
Yeah, Jack was the beneficiary of some run support to start this season. He was also the beneficiary of a team that was playing from behind and was able to score those goals in that timely manner to get them back into the game. And so he saw a lot of wins because of that. When you don't have the run support, you don't score a darn goal against Ilya Sorokin in 50 shots, you ain't winning the hockey game.
True. With how the Oilers season's gone, what words of encouragement would you give to Oilers fans right now? I know it's easy to be pessimistic right now.
Yeah, it's I mean like the thing that you have to rest your laurels on, I think, is that there's a lot of things that we had to go right for us at the start of the season, and not a lot of those things have gone right. So you've got to believe that some of these arrows are going to start trending upwards. You've
Yeah.
seen it with Warren Fogle. You'll see it. Hopefully, you'll see it with a Yamamoto back and hungry as ever. Jesse Puljujarvi has to get some goals in the net. I just think that there's a lot of things that are working against this team right now that could turn around pretty quickly, but it is tough days right now, and you understand Oiler fans being frustrated with it because we're not supposed to have this anymore. We're supposed to be the Stanley Cup contenders and not have to deal with this in November, but here we are. We're dealing with it a little bit earlier than we've had to in previous years. The last few years it's been December that we have our struggles, and so I do believe that this team will turn it around. It is still a team with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. Yes, we are missing some pieces as well from this team that will come back at some point, and they will be a positive impact as well. So, you can't ever count out a team that has Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl on it, but there is a lot of work to be done for the whole team and the management as well.
Perfectly put. Thank you for everyone tuning into the day after reaction. My friend Dan and I. Don't forget to head to OilersNation.com for more in-depth analysis, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Give us your thoughts on the game. What do the Oilers need to do better going forward? There's a lot that needs to be cleaned up, but let us know what you think. And thank you for tuning in once again.
Thanks, Waz.